Is dos un.
And here we are.
Indeed.
I still have my keys in my pocket, so I probably fuck that straight away. So,
Ahoy,
back again. Ahoy, hoy. Alright, Burns. Mr. Burns. Anyway, straight to referencing cartoons because we're adults. And today we're back doing another excellent whiskey video. And we're going to do the first one is this is fucked up from the start, isn't it? It's just not gone well, has it? No.
Started off well, Fred.
Oh jeez, it's not gone great at all.
It's cool. It's all right. It's
right, you take over.
It's one of those weeks.
It really is one of those.
We've
weeks.
had a really. It's been fun. Anyway, yeah. So our next Drams with Bams. I certainly.
We're
feel
really
like
living up to it this
Bam
time.
today.
Yeah. We've taken this name to heart.
Absolutely. Some of our previous ones have been kind of fancy and more sort of exclusive-y kind of drams. So we thought we'd do just some sort of normal ones for a change.
Nothing's normal with us. Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I may or may not on purpose have forgotten to bring a measure up, Darren. So we're just going to have to free pour these bad boys.
Did I mention I have to do some electrical work after this?
Oh, shit. Did I mention I have to not be in the bar for the next 24 hours?
You'll notice before this video is even posted, there's been a news article about the bar burning down because they're drunken.
Do us a favour, Darren. If you're going to burn the bar down, make sure I'm in it.
People are going to be like, oh, that's sad. It's like, nah.
It's not sad, it's true.
And I'm not going to say it's going to be an accident. Actually, that's going to look really bad if there's an accidental fire. And we've just fully committed insurance fraud.
What you could do is just not post this and then up your insurance premiums rather bizarrely just before.
We discovered some evidence. It was the video you deliberately filmed suggesting you were going to have an arson attack. And yeah, let's not do that.
Indeed.
So
our first one we're going to do is the Edradour, whatever you want to say. I'm past.
I think I say Dour.
Edradour.
But maybe that's a northeast thing because we're all Dour.
Edradour. Scotland's little gem. This is from Pitlochery. It was at one point, I believe, Scotland's smallest distillery. Whether or not that is still true, I'm not sure.
I suppose it would be more because there are many like farm distilleries on the go. There's a few farm distilleries.
Well, there's
on the
more
go.
and more. Well, certainly, since I heard that, there's more and more things opened up, such as like your Daft Mill and things like that. But I mean, for the longest time, this was just one still, and Scotland's smallest sort of operating commercial distillery. Highlands Pitlochery and Edradour, it's lovely. I mean, it's unusual, but we'll get into that later. This is their 10 years old. It's 40% ABV, and it's a small story. And it said apparently their process has remained virtually unchanged for over a century. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, they couldn't be doing that badly if that's the case.
I've always thought of this one, even since the first time I tried it many years ago. It's wiser than its years, if that makes any sense. I always think it tastes older than it is, but we'll see.
And it's sort of the same with the look as well. Because I mean, that's a 10-year-old, and it's very dark.
It's got a lovely. It's a really, really rich, nice colour.
Amber.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there was a mosquito in it, would start Jurassic Park.
No expense spared.
So I remember the first time I had this, and I was sort of put off by the smell a little bit.
Really?
It was just the first whiff of it I got. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to like this. And it was really the first time I'd ever tried it. I think we'd just gotten a bottle in, and I had no experience of it. And the first initial smell was just a little bit, ooh, am I going to like it? It doesn't, like, you don't go, ooh, that's bad. It's just a, oh.
I think it's when you're used to drinking sherry matured whiskies or sherry finished whiskies, you expect that sweetness. I think this it's like savoury almost to me. It's like buttery, very buttery, cereally, grainy, that kind of sort of, as I say, like almost like savoury side of things.
Yeah, I think that actually would explain it because
really buttery toast or something like that, you know, and I get that a lot in it.
But I am happy to say the smell was like, and the taste was like, ooh. I'm being articulate today.
Absolutely, that says more than any research could.
What does all of your books say? Yeah, it doesn't cover the factor.
I did
though.
say this. It varies from being quite informative to being like, oh my god, I think this is lovely, and you can just tell what kind of nick I'm in when I'm writing it.
I mean,
again, that sherry is there. I think, but it's not.
we wouldn't call it a sherry bomb like we have the other ones. I mean, we've got the.
I mean, it's there, but it just doesn't
the
hit
signatory
the same places, if that makes any sense.
The signatory bottling of the Edradour is way more sherried, and it's beautiful. And I was very lucky to get a bottle of it.
On there are still flies attacking me.
Yeah,
and there's a joke in there somewhere, but
I mean, just
flies are attracted to. Anyway, yeah, I mean the
whiskey.
Sherry is definitely there. I don't know what type of sherry. It might be one of the less sweet ones, more of the kind of saltier, nuttier kinds of.
I have a feeling it doesn't actually say on here because I'm sure I've looked before.
I mean, it's probably Oloroso. Let's face it, but.
Well, they do say it's Oloroso, but they said a hint of Oloroso, so they really.
It's Oloroso, but like
it is a very small. It just maybe doesn't spend much time in the barrel.
It's got this wonderfully, like buttery, salted butter kind of thing.
Well, that's what. Yeah, the taste follow up to it is that rich buttery taste. Again, I said the smell made me think twice, but the taste is really really lovely. The taste is a lot better than the smell. And it's not to say the smell is bad. I'm just saying, are you all right, Pete?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You got anything to say about that?
No, not at all. Other than you're often correct. There's again that sort of savoury thing carries on. Like cereal, I guess, is maybe a better thing to say.
Yeah.
Like your cornflakes kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I do get that a lot.
But none of your Frosties nonsense. Some of your non-sugary plain cornflakes.
I don't like Frosties, you know that?
That's surprising to me. Yeah, I know your boxes of cereal are in the kitchen downstairs. It's a Fruity Loop you're a fan of, isn't it?
I'm not a fan of a Fruity Loop. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. And anyway, before we go down the route of accents and embarrassing ourselves and offending a lot of other people, we'll just stop right there with that one.
Yeah. It's described by several people as being rummy or like almost like a rum, and it does like in the very last dying breaths of that finish. I get that.
Sort of, I suppose. Yeah, I mean that does. I can definitely see why it describes that. Now I'm a rum drinker, but I do like the sweet rums, and that it usually shows in my taste and stuff. And that's maybe why I don't get the sweetness from the smells of this very much.
It's like a molasses or something, but there's just that last dying little breath of it is like and it reminds you of a rum. I do understand that now. When I read it online, I was like, wet, but I can sort of see where they're going with that.
It's very nice. And with both of these in this video, they're just £5 ones. So some of them are a lot of our other videos features ones that are overlooked and not thought of because maybe part of it's to do with price because they're a little more on the upside. Nothing mental.
Down on the upside.
Yeah, all right. I'll admit that was a bit iffy.
That's an album. That is.
But these ones are ones that just seem to get overlooked a little bit. Anyway, which is a shame because they're both very nice.
There we go.
This one especially.
It says at the bottom, Edradour Distillery makes as much whiskey in a year as many distilleries produce in a week. Nestled in the Pocket Glen in the hills above Pitlochery.
That's pretty cool. Right. Well, we go on to the next one then.
Absolutely.
Smash it. So
I'm gonna have to admit that I was doing some research on this one, and then I got distracted.
Is that why your book says literally nothing?
That's why it says Glen Deveron. No, the Deveron. Sorry.
Because it's not Glen Deveron anymore. Yeah. Because it did used to be. It was Glen Deveron. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. Cheeky mare. I just called you a cheeky mare. All right.
That's fair enough.
So it was Glen Deveron.
Originally was known as... Wait, that's weird. What's that?
Oh, I don't know.
There's like a gear change diagram on the bottle I've never noticed before.
It's not... is it a tractor's gears?
Front wheel mate. You know what? I've no idea.
Jesus.
That's wonderful. I've never seen that before.
I'm going to hold this up so people can see it. This little bit here. Now, if anyone knows what that is, please let us know. Because you're right. I've never noticed that before.
Never seen that before. And I've been watching all these videos.
It does say Macduff Distillery, but that's all.
I've been watching all these videos recently on puzzle boxes and things, and now I'm like, maybe we can figure it out.
It's got a secret meaning.
We'll
get to the end of the rainbow and there's a pot of whiskey. I'd be fine with that.
Probably right. It's probably just a tractor gearing system. But
I mean, I don't know. I've never been in a tractor. Not the drive, like shows and stuff.
Tractor.
We're not in the West Country. Stop it. I could have a new park.
Scotland, so. You know, I used to date a girl who had actual plough experience.
No, bet you fucking did.
Like in the Borat thing where he's looking for a wife.
Oh, why would you say that?
I'm sorry. Well, she was a tractor.
Has she been ploughing much?
She was a tractor.
Is she still a bit of a plougher?
Shop. She was in
Is she known to be ploughing in the fields?
Tractors, tractors.
I think I can leave it there.
An old grey Fergie. That's what I learned from about that. It's a type of tractor. So anyway, these Glen Deveron. Yeah, it used to be called Glen Deveron.
You said it wrong again there and reminded yourself to explain.
Yes, I will continually call it Glen Deveron. But I think in sort of early 2000s, or was it in 2015, I want to say, they rebranded. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know, you said early 2000s and then said 2015.
I think it's around, it's got a 5 in it. It's 2000.
It's within the last 50 years.
Within the last sort of weird period of time. They rebranded and it's now The Deveron.
See, now, I remember when I was growing up, a while ago now I'll admit, and there was a Sum 41 video.
Right.
I think it was for Still Waiting.
Is that why you're rocking the backwards cap?
It's not, but, you know. I don't know, I just winked at the camera. Sorry. I'm really, really sorry. And there was a joke in it. Like what was cool this time was calling everything The. So, and they got rebranded. The joke in the music video was they got rebranded as The Sums.
Yeah.
And maybe that, I don't know why that always makes me think of the same thing of it's cooler now. We're going to call it The. So I think it was like The Hives, The Foo Fighters, The Sums. And then they jokingly changed it to Sum 41 to The Sums. And I don't know why, that just reminds me of it. It's like, let's rebrand and we'll just call it The.
Well, I think that's somewhat similar. I mean, there's always been The Macallan, and they tried to make it sound as if we're...
No, they wouldn't do that.
And that was, I think that's definitely the thing they've gone for, The Deveron. But it's certainly Glen Deveron. There's still a bunch of really nice Glen Deveron bottlings. It's from Macduff. The Royal Borough of Banff. What a place.
I mean, I quite like it up there. It's lovely road to drive on the bike, so
place.
it's cracking. We've not tasted the whiskey
No,
yet.
I haven't. This is Bosey's neck of the woods.
Has he tried this one, do you know?
Oh, absolutely.
I was just assuming, but...
I'd say that he's maybe more than tried it. Oh, it's really nice, really light.
How can you more than try it?
I mean, he's probably drank quite a lot of it.
I guess so, okay. Do or do not, there is no try. You can't be mad at that, and you know it.
Don't know what you're talking about. Star Wars is for kids. If that is Star Wars, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. Hiding all tattoos.
We've got 2 of your Star Wars helmets, not a euphemism, downstairs in the bar.
Yeah, no.
You've been giving out the Lego Star Wars Mandalorians. Don't know what
you're talking about.
You're such a liar.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Anyone who watches this, who's been at the bar recently, and would like to mock Pete for denying his comic book
talking about. Comic books are for
sci-fi
kids.
Nerdiness, please do.
Comic books are for kids. I like football and forklifts and things like that.
That's such a load of shit.
I know, that's really nice. It's really light, but then it has this sort of nice, intense kind of, I guess, maybe citrus. I don't know if that's...
It is. It's got citrus in there.
Real, like, sort of lemon zest, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I find myself saying more and more of the things that I find really annoying
But no, but that's an actual taste. I mean, zest, the lemon zest
That
is
sort
a
of
thing.
lemon, just a little hint of it, and it's really nice.
I don't know if it's lemon or like a.
It's good. I like that.
It's citrus, but I can't figure out quite if it's just lemony because I
certainly remember Glen Deveron 15 being
what was
wicked.
So we had one in the bar which has since gone because it was very nice. And that was a Glen Deveron something or other.
It was a 14-year-old.
And it's gone.
Single cask, perhaps? I can't remember. It was like a random. We're sitting at it was at an auction. It was one of those ones I was like.
Yeah, it was one we hadn't gone down as a target or stuff, and it comes up and he's like, damn, fucking get it.
And it was really, really nice. And even one of our whiskey drinking regulars very much enjoyed.
So that's got a weird feeling at the back of your mouth after that.
Again, it's quite it's lighter in colour. I'd certainly say that's a straw hay kind of colour.
It's not like the amber of the last one.
But again, that can maybe let you think that there's not an awful lot going on, but it's weird. I have this awful visual thing where like it's quite like on the outskirts of it, it's quite light and there's not a huge amount going on. But when you get to like the core of it, it's quite intense. If that makes any sense at all. No.
It actually does. I just want to mess with you.
I'm a visual dude.
It's certainly a way of putting it.
Because I can't hear anything. That has a little hint of the old savoury.
I can't. I'm sitting quiet, and it's because I can't place the flavors that I'm getting.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'm very confused, and it's not because it's bad. It tastes really, really nice, but I can't place it at all right now.
It's very, very light, but again, I think it's a thing I'll use a lot. It's spicy. It's got a little peppery,
So what's it saying? So it's saying
spice.
It says seaborn spice, and that annoys me a little bit. Because what's seaborn?
Well, there's no point in reading this because it's just going to annoy you.
No, but well, this again.
When billows break and horror ghosts in, then haste ye hame, or some bit warm and wind with toasted grain and apples, seaborn spice calm from the storm. What? Anyway.
That's not a taste description.
It is. It's a.
That's what I'm telling you. It's not, and we've spoke about this many times because it winds us up when people do this. Tell us what's in it.
The Raven.
It's like, tell us what's in it. We want to know how it tastes. We want to know if our taste can grasp those flavors. That one sort of tells you a little bit, and all the other ones we've tried. The one in the last video tells you what you should expect. That gives you a poem, which, although very nice, is useless when tasting.
It's not even really a poem. It doesn't rhyme.
You know what I mean? Like
there was a tasting when I was looking up various people's tasting notes for. I can't mind what one it was. One of the other ones we've done. They were like, "Oh, it's grassy," and then in a little bracket, they're like, "The professionals would probably say like walking in the garden at 6 a.m. after the rainstorm," and he's obviously just taking a piss out.
Which means you're a bum.
Which is quite nice.
Only hobos are at 6 a.m.
As go through like mood, it's things.
It winds me up.
We're losing our patience for things.
I mean everything. So we have a lot to deal with in the bar with all the COVID rules just now. People have tried our patience a lot, but it then affects other things. So when we've commented before about this thing sort of winds us up, and usually it's like, oh, that's dumb. It's really silly. But now, because we're already at a stage of like prepared angriness, that's just like, nah, stop it. It tastes lovely. You can just tell us the flavors. You don't need to make up a romanticized version of it. We're happy with what tastes.
I don't like that nonsense anyway, but particularly after having spent 3 weeks telling 75-year-old men to, behave, it's wonderful.
Romanticized tasting notes annoy us, and we've sort of said it before.
These boys have got to do it, I suppose, but
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends what you're marketing it to.
There's a difference, but I guess it's like
maybe we're just grumpy buggers. You know that, Pete?
Oh no, that's definitely it.
I mean,
there's a difference between like, I guess, if you like see if you're like a literature student, and
I've read a book.
you're sort of
close enough.
taught to sort of deconstruct and break down like writing. It probably affects how you read for fun. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, if you can read a book without, certainly
because you said the same thing about music before,
music,
that you know
when you start to study something, it can sort of taint how you enjoy it.
I mentioned my face not crying.
It's cool.
Sure. I mean,
it's both.
That's
maybe a somewhat of a thing for this. You know, if you're just looking for something nice and you're not deconstructing what it is and what's
that's maybe it.
Something really nice.
We overlook it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Whereas we kind of are a little bit more involved in it, so we'd like to know the information and then make up that for yourself. But maybe it's a bit of that. Maybe if we just shut the hell up and drank it, it might. And I've said that before. There are times where you are. Like if I'm trying something for the first time and my head's in the right space, then I'll sit and I'll really, taste it and try and sort of deconstruct it and learn a bit from it. But there are times where I just want to like get it down my face hole as quick as I can and feel better. And there are times for that as well.
But that's a really nice one. We've probably spent maybe more time speaking about how much the bottle has annoyed us.
It's just a vent, really.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame because that doesn't do the whiskey it doesn't do it justice. Sorry, because it's really nice. It
is. It's not. It's very.
I can't articulate what I mean.
It's
flavors.
Very light. It's gentle. I'd say that would be very easily overpowered by. And obviously you've got to think about these things, so if you've had a curry, you're probably not going to taste anything out of that. If you've been drinking some quite sort of intense flavoured things, whether that be a strong IPA or something like that.
Maybe wouldn't go from Guinness to that. As an example, this is something that, it's quite heavy and strong in flavours to that. You'd maybe lose a lot of the...
So I feel as well, there's lots of very light sort of subsidiary notes going on all around it, and then it takes a little minute for it to get to the core of when you're like, oh right, and the core.
I think that's why I can't figure it out, because I've got the flavors around, and and it's all very nice, and I can't stop them swirling.
Harmonics going on around it, and you're like,
oh God, we're starting to romanticize ourselves now.
Harmonics, yeah, no, yeah.
But it was very nice, very good, very very good, very good indeed. I think that's all we have to say about those ones. Yeah, that was good. It's nice. We definitely spent too much time mocking the bottling, and actually, to be fair, the bottle looks lovely. I really like how that looks, the green bottle and stuff. Just a little bit writing on the back is
peppery, spicy, herby finish, I guess.
It's a really good Highland.
When you walk past those spice shops, you get that kind of mix of them all.
Yeah, like and you're like, "Ooh, that smells good," but you've smelled a bunch of them.
Cardamom or something.
There's a few in there.
Like coriander or something like that. Some savoury spice that's in there.
It's very good. It's another nice one. And as I said, these two are both just a £5 each, so these are really nice ones to go for. You got one that's a bit more, a bit stronger in flavour. One that's light then gets strong. So these are. It's probably good ones to start off.
That is, that's certainly a very, very gentle dram. That I would describe as a breakfast whiskey. Absolutely a breakfast whiskey. That, dinner time, I would say, maybe lunchtime.
An early afternoon.
Yeah, you can get one of them with a tasty wrap for dinner. That would be alright.
You're making me
hungry. Am I giving myself away now? Am I?
You're giving me ideas, is what you're doing.
I don't like wraps.
Just the type of music, or?
No, I don't mind that. I don't understand. I just don't trust folded food.
Well, what about a half sandwich? When you fold
It's not a fold. It's two
very
distinct
no,
layers.
right? No, but see if you've got like a flat bit of bread,
and you
put some jam in it, and you fold it in half. That's a fine piece. It's a jammy piece. Pete, no,
where you go?
Well, I'll end this episode by saying I'm right. And because he's not here to argue, there's nothing you can do about it.
Who folds a single piece of bread?